How we doing, guys? Oyster V. So, the three Musketeers are all together here. Going to give you a live watch-along at Fulham Brentford. Get your comments in, guys, and we're going to put them on the screen as we go along. So, guys, predictions on this one.
Shall I be boring and just call it a draw? No. Listen, I hope Brentford have too much for Fulham. A bit like Leeds United. They're a great footballing side. Hopefully they'll zip it about. They had some good results in the warm-up fixtures against the likes of Arsenal and Louise, although he's pretty gash, isn't he? Let's be honest. But I fancy Brentford, and hopefully that'll be the case.
Yeah, I think I agree with Joe. I think Brentford are going to be zipping it around and playing their football, and I don't think Fulham have beaten Brentford at home in over 50 years. So, I mean, it's a mad stat, that. So you're hoping that they're going to do it. I'm going to go Fulham 2-0.
You built it up there for a Brentford win.
Yeah, we hope Joe's right and Brentford are going to zip it along. But yeah, Fulham will win. Guys, as well, we get this a lot when we're looking through the streams. If anyone's coming on and saying obviously I can see at the bottom, anyone got a stream going. Guys, we can't provide that. That's copyright. This is a watch along. We are watching the game. You essentially watch our reactions. So for anybody who's going to be coming on and saying, have you got a stream? Can you link to stream? We've had it before. We cannot do that.
If just while we're going as well, if anyone could keep me updated with the Borough score, just in case they get beat, so I can wind my mates up because Borough are going down.
I have to agree with Joe, though. I think Brentford. I think it's going to be a good game, though. Could see a draw, but I think Brentford just on that counter attack. Benrahma, Watkins. I just think they're going to have too much for Fulham myself.
Yeah, been brilliant, haven't they, BMW this season?
Yeah, you'd hope so. I mean, I think I don't know whether or not I'd prefer a draw, but I don't really know what I'd want, to be honest.
Well, Brentford's win puts them 8 points behind us, doesn't it? So, it's all of a sudden, if we don't win tomorrow, it's all of a sudden a little bit, they're, again, it's unrealistic. I think Thomas Frank said that he doesn't think they can get top two, but...
Yeah, but he's going to say that. He's going to say that, isn't he?
Oh, yeah, take the pressure off a bit.
Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, these chasing teams have got nothing to lose, have they? And like you said, Thomas Frank's smart in saying that there's no point putting pressure on the lads. But listen, we've got to win our games, I guess. For me, I hope Brentford win this fixture. And I said anyway, me and Connor did a video. I said in a podcast that I did, I still fancy Brentford to finish ahead of Fulham anyway. I just think, like Connor said before, Brentford are too far away for us to drop that many points. But listen, it's Leeds United. You know what we're like. But I'm confident. I am very confident.
Joe, you're way too negative for me. Look at this. They've got is that the Thames? Look at that. You don't get that.
Yeah.
You don't get that in Beeston, do you?
Hey, God.
They are so posh, aren't they, Fulham?
Oh, it's a different environment down there, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Way up.
So what we're saying to that comment on the screen then, guys, Fulham should be doing miles better with the squad they have. Are we agreeing with that?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, once again, I think we're all saying, weren't we, on our streams that how they're not winning the league. We've got Marcelo Bielsa, and that's a key pawn in this chess game. But at the end of the day, like, Jesus Christ, that Fulham squad. I mean, me and Joe were saying it the other day, and Oscar, you've just said it there. Cabano, Kamara, Ayite, Tom Kearney, Knockout, Mitrovic, Cavallero, Bobby Reed. It's just a joke. It is a joke. That's about how much talent's that worth? That's just going forward. That's probably around about 80 million in itself, probably more. Like, there is no way we, Leeds United, should be. I don't think we should. If you're just looking at the value of the squad and how much money they've got, we should nowhere near be on top of Fulham by 7 points. So I think they should be comfortably top of the league, definitely with the squad they've got.
Yeah, I mean, can you imagine Bielsa with these type of players? This is the thing, isn't it? I think when teams look at Leeds United and they say, from the outside looking in, they might say, oh, yeah, they've got a really good squad, etc., which now we do have. However, people forget, this is the same sort of nucleus of players that did so poor under the likes of Heckingbottom and stuff. And people seem to forget that from the outside. We know what it was like. We've seen the football that was played, and we can see such a drastic change. And I do agree with you. I mean, you just have to look at the likes of, even West Brom, etc. The amount of talent they've got, it's no joke. Like the likes of Ayling and stuff now considered one of the best fullbacks in the division. He was bought for a pittance. His career was on a downward spiral. Look at the stuff that gets shouted out about Cooper, etc. Even from our own fans. The actual switch around from Bielsa has just been absolutely amazing, and it just further proves to you just how good of a job that man has done to this football club.
Absolutely. Let's not forget, Fulham have signed Michael Hector in January as well. That's a big signing, that, isn't it, at the back? Being able to make a just signing like that in January is, it shows the kind of, money we're talking about here. And then you got obviously Joe Bryan, left back, Christie, right back, both really good going forward for me.
So there's something wrong clearly there, isn't there, for me? Because, I think they tweeted out a picture of their first 5 games. And all the Fulham fans were tweeting back going, oh, shit, here we go, sort of thing. And you think, if you're Fulham with that squad, you're thinking, I want 5 wins out of 5, including Leeds. I want to go to Leeds and beat them. I mean, we've got the squad to do it. So, God knows, it is bizarre. I mean, do I think they're underachieving? Yeah. And that's mad to say they're still in with a shout of automatic promotion, but I do think they're underachieving.
I mean, let's take, take Mitrovic out of the side, they'd be doing even worse, right? Do you know what I mean? Can you imagine where they would be without his goals? I think the manager was all wrong personally. Parker, I just don't think he's up to the task. If they'd gone out and got someone with a bit more about him, it might be different. Fulham could be in there top 2. But yeah, I just think keeping Parker in for as long as maybe cost them. In all honesty.
Well, the thing with Mitrovic, Fulham have scored 52 goals this year. Mitrovic has scored 23. He's almost scored half their goals. It's not sustainable. That they've got to find, if they are going to really push yours. For me, the only way they can do it is if they find goals from other areas. Cavallero, Knockaert, the big signings, Kearney being there for ages. I think one of those 3, at least one of those 3, has got to start to step up. I think those 3, the talent they have been very average this season so far, of course.
Can you guys see the lineup?
Just about, yeah, it's just come on now.
Just going through now.
Do you want to just quickly run through it? I'm worried if I start, it might go off.
Team. Marek Rodak in goal, Dennis Odoi, Michael Hector, Tim Ream, Joe Bryan across the back, Harrison Reed holding, Bobby Reed, Tom Kearney ahead of him, and then the front 3, Anthony Knockaert, Alexander Mitrovic, and Neeskens Cabano. So looks like a 4-3-3 according to Sky that Fulham have gone with. Big people on the bench, Kevin McDonald's, Stefan Johansson, I'll just look over the top, Harry Arter, and Ivan Caballero. So there's some good bench options there, guys. Brentford just going through, David Raya, a player I know a lot about, Henrik Dalsgaard, Pontus Jansson, Ethan Pinnock, Rico Henry across the back. And then, same setup as Fulham. Christian Norgard, Jensen, De Silva, midfield. And then there's a change actually in the front 3. Fosu, Watkins and Benrahma. So Mbeumo is out of this game. It looks like he's not on the bench either.
Fucking hell.
They lost that though, isn't it? Mbeumo, big player for Brentford.
He scored something like 14 goals, hasn't he?
That's insane for your first season at this level, isn't it? Though.
Come on, Brentford. Come on, the boys.
I'm going to have to try keeping check because I am slightly ahead of you, I think.
Joe, can you pause your stream?
Yes, I can.
That works. Currently, we're just in the centre circle. And they're not even started the whistle yet. And just while Joe does that, I'll just answer some of the questions. Hello, everybody. Do you think we should have kept Saiz? Personally, I don't. If you've got someone who can't be arsed with Bielsa's methods, then see you later. I was upset at the time, but yeah, I think it's the best decision. All things Leeds. Afternoon, lads. What result do we want in here? I'm going to go, what I'd prefer is a Brentford win, but I'd also take a draw. Anything but a Fulham win for me. Don't know what you boys think about that.
100%. I have to agree with that.
Yeah, and got any more? Just tuning in, lads. Good to see you all. Come on, Brentford. Can Pontus do us a favour and Mitrovic some damage? Yeah, it'd be great. Oh, yeah, Bueno apparently has COVID. Wow. So that could be, you know, if he's out for us, and from all these TV world, Brian and Bueno, you know, makes a speedy recovery, but his talent on the pitch, that could be advantageous for teams in and around that top 6, couldn't it, boys?
100%. You know, that is what is it they call it? The BMW front three. I'm not sure. Is it? Yeah, it's been crucial for Brentford, hasn't it, this season? And Buemo's a big player for him. But Fosu, who's playing on the right hand side, caused a bit of problems for Arsenal in the friendly a couple of weeks ago. I don't know if you boys remember. 3-2 looked really, really sharp. So possibly, again, I don't know a lot about him. I think he's signed from Oxford in January. So again, similar kind of player to Buemo, I think. But who knows?
Right, Joe. That Brentford are in a huddle now. I don't know if you're at that point.
No, they've took the knee, mate. I can't pause it either. I'm just
yeah, I didn't know if it had stopped, but I think when you press stop, if you press play, it goes immediately back to the start, doesn't it?
It's a little bit.
Yeah. I thought that's what. I'm not gonna watch you. So yeah, if a goal goes in, don't react.
Do you know what I found quite interesting there? I know you guys have seen it now. I don't know if you see the huddle, just how instrumental Janssen is in this Brentford side. They've missed him hugely since he's been injured. And you can see there, the players in that huddle were basically hanging on his every word. Do you know what I mean? So he's been a massive, massive boost for Brentford. And let's be honest, you know, he is a top quality centre-back at this level, I think.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
I think Fulham have got more fans. They've got more fans there than normal, haven't they, Fulham?
More noise.
Yeah.
Sean McGonigal.
Get the clappers going.
Sean McGonigal, I got a question for Connor. Go on, ask me, Sean. Who's going down in the Prem? Honestly, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, same.
Villa.
Actually, I tell a lie. I want Villa to go down.
Yeah.
Do you see the Norwich Southampton?
Yeah, that was a laugh, wasn't it? But
they are bad, aren't they?
I don't know what you boys think about this, but I mean, me and Joe were talking about it as well, Oscar. And you know, if you guys are in the comments, just put what you're thinking. But I look at Norwich and I think how good they were last season in the Championship, and I see sort of us similar in terms of how we have been this season. And I think we need to take massive lessons from how they do things because they've just not got the quality. You know, they've got so much possession. They have so many good spells in games, but they're just not good enough to finish teams off. And I think Leeds, if it has to be 3 or 4 players worth 15, 20 million each, I think Leeds have got to make that investment. Otherwise, we'll just be another Norwich.
Well, you've got to think of the flip side of that. I hear what you're saying 100%, but then you've also got the Sheffield United. You know, I don't know. I would hope we would do a Sheffield United as opposed to a Norwich, but I understand where you're coming from. It has been quite a surprise just how poor they have actually been. Do you know what I mean?
Do you think with Sheffield United though, like obviously the back 3 when they've kept like O'Connell, Egan, and Basham, they've had them there since like League One, whereas with us. We'll lose Ben White, who's essentially our best centre-back, isn't he? We don't know who's going to be coming in. We think it's that
goal kick then. It's gone straight out of play.
Yeah, we think it's going to be that Foyth, don't we? If we do get to the Premier League, this is all ifs, by the way, guys. But yeah, be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it's been. I keep remembering. Like, I keep like on social media as though we're already up, man. If we were to not go up, I thought I'd go into hiding, man.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, guys, all Leeds TV gets cancelled if we bottle it again. We went through too much trauma last year.
Far too much.
I know what you mean though about Norwich, Sheffield United. It's one of those. It'll probably go either way, but I just look at Norwich even last year. I thought they were a bit shaky at the back at times. You know, the way they push Aarons, Lewis forward, I just think in the Premier League with better quality players, I think they were just flawed, to be honest, the way they play. You know, effectively, you know, when Norwich go forward and lose the ball, it's just Ben Godfrey and Grant Hanley left there. And I mean, Grant Hanley might get away with it in the Championship, but he is not a Premier League player. You know, it's just seriously poor recruitment from Norwich. You know, they've been very naive, I think, as Connor said. I think Sheffield United have still brought in a lot of good players. You know, Ollie McBurney's done pretty decent for me. Who's the other guy? Sander Berge, I think they brought in January. He looked all right against Villa. So again, recruitment is just so crucial.
Well, Sheffield United have spent a lot of money though, haven't they? Yeah. I think they brought that Zivkovic in as well. He's on the bench as well, but they brought obviously Callum Robinson, who they loaned out, but he'll still be a feature for him. But they've spent like 15, 20 million on each and every player, and whilst keeping, like Joe said, the sort of core nucleus. I think they've done it such a good way. And the thing is, we all know how strong defensively they are. They didn't need to really improve there, did they?
Yeah. And I think, you know, Freddie Mack, who's just come up on the comments there, he's bang on saying the difference is being clinical. You know, you look at Danny Ings, I think he had a sighter in the first half. Second half, he gets that other chance. And what a finish it was, you know. He nearly put it in the first chance. And that's the difference. That's why we can't afford to carry, let's be honest, at times, Bamford's been a bit of a passenger in that department. And we can't afford that if we do go up to let Bamford miss 3-4 gilt-edged chances. Because if that happens, we're gonna get punished every time. And that's the difference with the Premier League, isn't it?
Definitely. Yeah, I completely agree with that. Yeah, it's just completely different levels, isn't it?
Yeah.
David Raya's guilty of a mistake or two, isn't he, Oscar?
Yeah, he's one of those keepers. I mean, the reason I know quite a bit about David Raya is he started off at the local club Southport, and the thing is with him, his shot stopping is phenomenal in general, but he has got, as you say, he's got that mistake. And you remember that Hull one just before lockdown? When he just kind of just let the ball run under his foot? I think he's definitely won Brentford a lot more points than he's lost them, to be honest. I think I certainly rate him more than Rodak for Fulham. I think he's a dodgy keeper, to be honest. I think if Brentford get a few shots off, you know, Ben Rama and that lot, I just think he's one who, you know, can spill a ball and make a complete cock up.
Yeah. Come on, Brentford.
Bit sloppy start of this game, though. Both teams try and play out of the back and giving it away in some pretty rubbish areas, but...
I think there'll be a lot of that tomorrow in our game as well. I think there'll be, you know, initially, I think first 5-10 minutes, I think even Leeds, I think will be a bit sloppy. I can see that happening and then hopefully getting into the swing of things. But I think it's just a bit of rust, isn't it? Because it's all well and good being on a pitch and playing against your own team and running everywhere. And, you know, we all know how fit we are as a team, but actually getting on there and playing a completely different team, that's, I think that sort of heightens a bit of rustiness, doesn't it? It's a bit more pressure, isn't it? Let's be right.
Go on, mate.
I think, yeah, you know, it is two things, as you say. It's pressure and fatigue. I think it starts kicking, you know, from time to time. It's what do you think about the...
chance, Brentford, anyway.
Ben Rama started this game pretty well.
Yeah, what do you make to Ben Rama and being linked with Chelsea? I mean, the signing of Timo Werner, by the way, what a signing that is! I'm surprised Liverpool let that one get away from him. But Ben Rama, Chelsea, do you reckon he can do it at that level? I know he can do it at the Prem, but you know, you're looking at top 6, possible Champions League for Chelsea. Do you think he'd be ready for that, boys?
They've got so many options, haven't they, Chelsea? You know, you've got Pulisic, they've signed Ziyech as well. You know, it's hard to see, as good as Ben Rama is, it's hard to see right now how he gets game time in this like Chelsea team. You know, Barkley, Mount, you know, he's probably going to be kind of 4th or 5th choice. So if he's going there, you know, it's a possibility he's hardly getting on the bench, to be honest. For me, anyway.
Yeah, completely agree. Can't even add to that. Spot on, mate. I think it's a good signing. I mean, he's only young, isn't he? But yeah, whether or not he'll be able to start week in, week out, I don't know.
And then, you know, there's a comment on the stream there from Stephen Mayer saying, "Do you expect JKA to stay past June. I've been hearing little bits and bats that, and it's crazy to think, that he looks so lean and quite mean, and then I've heard little bits and ball into the box, unlucky. I'm way ahead of you guys, aren't I? I'm going to keep my mouth shut. I think it's quite interesting that I've heard he might be a little bit overweight, guys. He come in a couple of kilos over what was expected of him by Bielsa, which is pretty mad, and that's why he's not been with the squad. I've also heard little rumblings that things might not be as gravy, and maybe he's enjoying his time at Leeds, but nothing confirmed. But I think it was quite poignant, the fact that Bielsa made the point of saying he's not injured, he's just not with the squad. I mean, what do you guys think on JKA? Will we see him in these 9 games?
Well, I mean, I look at JKA and I think obviously he's a better finisher than Bamford. I think from what we've seen from his time at Leipzig, a couple of little bits and pieces from there, and obviously Bamford, we all know has missed chances, but I think you alluded to it in a previous video, Joe. Bamford just fits what Bielsa wants perfectly. He wants that target man there, you can play the ball into, and you can hold it up. Ideally, he's to be a 20, 25 goal a season man, like JKA probably is. But I think Bielsa, it's all about the system. I think more than anything, I don't think he'd play JKA from the start if he thought it was going to take a lot out of other people's game. So I still think off the bench, when we're chasing a game, is a good option to have, as well as Tyler Roberts is too. But, all of a sudden, before this game, before we did the preview, I was looking at the squad and thinking, flipping heck, our bench is looking good here. Then we lose JKA, Pablo. All of a sudden, it's only kind of Shackleton and Roberts who we have off the bench, and it can change a little bit. So for me, I don't see why not. I don't see why JKA can't be a success at Leeds.
Yeah,
are you, Connor?
Yeah, I don't know. If it is weight, fair enough. But if he's injured again, I don't like the odds of that going forward. I mean, I know he was injured at PSG for a period of time as well, Leipzig as well. Apparently that's why he fell out of favour, and that was the emergence of Werner. But I don't know. Can you have an obligation to sign someone for 20 million if we're going into the Premier League and they barely kicked a ball for Leeds? And if it is something to do with his weight, that's just not going to work. And if, we saw that with Saiz, there was clearly one bite of the cherry, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it was then too much for Bielsa. And I want a proof. I'm sort of sick of, as a Leeds fan, gambling on centre forward. I want to go forward and get a proven striker. That wouldn't even be like a Shea Adams, because if he's not working for Southampton on the bench, he's not just going to miraculously start working for Leeds. So it's going to have to be a real recruitment process for Leeds to get a proper striker. But it will worry me if we go into next season, and people might disagree with me, but if we go in with Bamford as sort of, he will. I know he will, but as a league number 9. But I want someone else to be very closely challenging him, instead of it just being Bamford and that's it. Because, I don't know. I'm still not completely convinced on Bamford.
I think you'd be right, mate. I mean, look, I think we all appreciate that the 11 that starts tomorrow is probably going to be 11 that'll start in the Prem, just with where Bielsa is. Do you know what I mean? But we all do at the same time accept that we need to have ready-made replacements. And like you say, Shea's a gamble in the Championship. Let's put some money on. When you're stepping up to the Prem, like you say, Connor, you want someone proven, not, well, let's get Shea in and maybe it'll work. You can be given that time in the Championship a little bit, because, Shea, we've seen him do it at this level. But yeah, I agree with you in that respect. I'd love someone like a Mitrovic. Can you imagine? But I guess we'll wait and see.
I think it's been a very sloppy start to this game, hasn't it? I'm looking at both teams, and I can't believe how much both teams have lost the ball so far, considering how high up the table they are. I think both teams look I don't know what you boys think, both teams look pretty nervy to me, just hoofing the ball away from time to time.
They can't slip up. Either of them can't slip up, even Brentford. Brentford cannot slip up. So I think the nerves are going to be right on. It doesn't matter. Clearly, the crowd makes not that much of a difference. The playing style's not altered. I'd expect this game to be going the way it's going, even with a crowd. But yeah, it does look very shaky, doesn't it?
I think there's something developing on that Fulham left-hand side, though. It seems to be targeting Dalsgaard at right back quite a bit.
I think it's like Connor said, there's so much riding on this game. I bet they wish for an easier fixture to get them back off in this last 9, because you'd think whoever does lose, you're looking at it thinking, oh God, it's tough for us to chase down that 2 now. And then what are you doing? Are you then? I guess does your motivation drop a little bit because you're thinking, look, we can still catch the top 2. Lose these first couple of games, and then you're like, oh, we're in playoffs now. Does that make sense? Chance? Oh, guys, I don't want to ruin it for you, so I'll let you catch up.
Fucking Joe.
No, sorry.
Oh, jeez. Oh, great. So you're there now as well. Brilliant.
Knockout.
It's all right. I'm just watching it on a potato. Fucking cheese grater. It's got to be offside, ref. Oh.
Have you just seen the one with the post, aye?
Yeah, close.
Right, okay. Yeah.
Brentford just don't get it away, though. It's really... Can't believe how sloppy Brentford is. Yeah.
Drops into knockout, yeah?
Chance again. Just wide that, but...
Yeah, from knockout. Okay.
Game on, I think.
Yeah. Do you think Mark Mitrovic is carrying a bit or what? I keep looking at him thinking, bloody hell.
Yeah, definitely.
He looks a bit rotund, like.
I'll tell you what, Janssen was completely done there by Bobby Reid.
Yeah, definitely.
Completely done. Janssen running in treacle.
Did you get a chance to catch Roy Keane yesterday at half time?
I love it.
You'll never get anyone like him in football again. I just love how honest he is. Just doesn't give a shit.
No, brilliant man.
Needs to create his own channel.
100%. Roy Keane fan TV.
We've got one coming there from Louis Winstanley that said thoughts on Foyth being linked, because I know the guy before just mentioned Ben White, and what are our thoughts about keeping Ben White? Ben White. I think he might move on, top 6. I think I'm sort of resigned to the fact, and I'd be very surprised if he lines up for Leeds in the Prem, and if he was, I'd be over the moon. So one Foyth, boys. I know Connor has a few bits to say. I just look at what Bielsa's done and would be hopeful, especially with the fact that Poch has had him and Bielsa's been, after him before, that would be a good move. I don't know what you guys think.
I'll let Connor go first.
Yeah. I guess. I mean, just how much coaching is he going to get? Is he just going to get sort of, let's say if we do get him, is it sort of just going to be 5-6 weeks of coaching, then straight into the Premier League? Because I saw a couple of bits of him when he was in the Prem, and he was like a fish out of water. I know he's a kid, but I don't know. Like, it goes back to the argument, doesn't it, of getting someone in who's proven. And I remember us all saying that after Janssen left. We all kept turning around and saying, we need someone else apart from Ben White, and how wrong we were. But that Premier League level, if he has 5-6 weeks with Juan Foyth, is Bielsa going to make him into a solid, defensive player who's on Ben White's? I don't know. I don't know if you boys saw him play, but he was at fault in one game for 2 of Spurs' goals, and they lost the game because of
Wolves away, I think it was. He gave 2 penalties, I think.
Well, Jimenez just had him on absolute toast, and I'm just not really sure if that's going to be a thing. Why would you not want to go out and get a proven player if you're in the Premier League? Like, I get the Championship's a bit different, but I don't know. I think getting a 19-year-old in again and having 5-6 weeks to train him up, I don't know if it's the right move. But I was wrong with Ben White, so I'll probably be wrong with Foyth.
I'm just going to put a comment on the screen, and it's a player I've heard a little bit mentioned about as well as Juan Foyth. I think Juan Foyth looks like the favourite, but I'm just going to put it on the screen. I don't know if you guys have been watching the German games, but a guy for Freiburg, I think it is, called cracking name as well, Robert Koch. But yeah, no, he would be more
Robert Koch.
Robert Koch. But imagine the songs. Just imagine the songs for one. How many
Get
different
the cock out for the lads.
Everyone's gonna have cock on the back of the shirt, you know. But
I've just seen. Jump in. I've just seen Middlesbrough have gone 2-0 down.
2-0.
22 minutes. Ryan Brewster, and I'm not sure who scored the other. So yeah, Jonathan Woodgate's Borough 2-0 down after 22 minutes.
Are they at home?
Yeah, they're home against Swansea. Yeah, Swansea have still got a shout. You know, I was there speaking to a Swansea fan yesterday, and he still thinks they could get in the top 6.
Well, once again, they've probably got a decent enough squad, haven't they?
Yeah, plenty of options. I mean, Brewster, what a signing that was in January. You know, what a sign. I mean, I think we were linked with him as well. You know, when Eddie went, I think he's a similar kind of, you know, player to Eddie. You know, I think you know, he's a top player to have in your team.
Definitely. Sorry, go on, Oscar. What were you saying about the old?
About the old Cock. I've got to agree with Connor on Foyth. I don't think he's big enough for the Premier League. I think when you're facing people like Raul Jimenez, Harry Kane, you know, Firmino, you know, quite strong players, you know, quite quick players and all that, I just don't think Foyth has that. But you don't know. You know, you're looking at him having played being a bit part player for Spurs, playing under Mourinho, etc., etc. You know, Mourinho's a totally different kind of manager to Bielsa. You know, if you play bad for Mourinho, you drops, but under Bielsa, he'll coach him. You know, he'll almost be like a father figure to him. You know, he'll probably get more out of him. But I've got to agree with Connor. I've not seen anything from Foyth that makes me think, wow, he's the kind of player you want, you know, leading your back line, if that makes sense. But look, if he signs, you know, I'll back him all the way.
Yeah, I mean, I've not seen enough of the Cock, if I'm honest, so I can't really comment.
I just think he'd be a better fit. I just realised what
Hey, God.
He'd plug a few holes at the back.
Go on, Oscar. That's a beauty.
But yeah, no, I think I look at him and just think, you know, 6'4", good on the ball, can play holding mids, can play right back, left back, you know, a bit of a Dallas kind of versatility to him. I'd go for someone like that instead, but I think Burnley are after him as well, so be an interesting one.
There'll be some cracking news headlines. Leeds after Cock.
Hey, God. God, yeah, 20 odd minutes in now, guys. Who would you say is having the best of it? I mean, it's been a bit stop-starty, obviously. Bobby Reid is it the crossbar /post. But yeah, it's been a bit stop-start, hasn't it? Really.
Yeah, I'd like to see Watkins on the ball a little bit more.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think Fulham. It's been pretty even, but they've definitely had the best chance, haven't they? They've looked the most likely. I think the left-hand side, you know, they've just put a lovely crossfield there to Joe Bryan. I think Bryan and Cabano seem to be linking quite well on that left.
Yeah, I don't think Fulham look too bad here. I think they look quite assured. They've had a couple of good chances. Mitrovic is I mean, he's had 3 or 4 headers against Janssen and Pinnock, and he's won at least 3 of them. He must be an absolute nightmare to mark.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Strong. You know, we can all laugh at him and say, you know, he's put on a bit of timber, but I guarantee in these bloody 9 games, he'll still end up with 9 goals.
Definitely.
He's just a beast, isn't he? He's like a championship Diego Costa. You know, if he plays for you, you absolutely love him, but every other team just can't stand him.
He'd be my number 1 target, genuinely. But Bielsa wouldn't have him because there's no chance Mitrovic is getting under 10%. His head's not getting under 10%.
I'm going to say that haircut's a beauty as well, man. He struggle.
That's about 4 stone on his head.
But yeah, man, he'd be ideal, wouldn't he? What would you do? I mean, would you look at teams in in the Championship that haven't made haven't been able to secure promotion. Would you look there for your signings, or do you think we'll go continental?
Yeah, I would. I'd go top champion. I don't think there's that much of a bridge anymore between top Championship players and sort of like lower Premier League clubs. I think you've seen that, throughout, like Burnley signings and Bournemouth signings, like them being able to transition really easily, like the likes of like Harry Wilson this year, Chris Wood for Burnley, players of that ilk. I think they can do it. Definitely. You look at like McBurney last year. I think he's been a decent signing for Sheffield United. So yeah, I'd definitely go top Championship players. Like, I'd be looking at centre attacking midfield. I'd be looking at Kearney, definitely. Leeds.
On the ball there.
I think he's a Leeds lad as well, isn't he?
Yeah. I mean, look at Chelsea,
didn't we?
You've got Abraham, Mount, Tomori, all top Championship players last season. Chance that for Brentford, but Abraham, Mount,
just getting on
Tomori,
the ball.
all did really well in the Championship, and they've stepped up to like a top 4 Premier League team. So I'd have to agree with Connor there. I think Championship, top end Championship players, hungry Championship players is the way to go for me.
Yeah.
They're just having the water break, guys. What do you make of that? The water break. Listen, I know we're in unprecedented times, but do you feel that they need that halfway break in the first 45 and again in the second? What do you make of that?
I was watching the Barcelona game yesterday, and the whole game after the first water break, it played at about 110 miles an hour the first 25 minutes, and then the game just completely lost all its like speed and that lot. It all went a bit slow after that. It's kind of like it felt like an inconvenience almost for me. But I know why they're doing it. Because there's so many games, etc. But I've not seen a game that's improved for having the water cooling break so far.
And just before Connor answers, I see it as a bit of a disadvantage for Leeds United, because you've seen how quick we can absolutely hammer teams. It gives their coaches an opportunity to just quickly switch it around, and
I agree.
It could be a disadvantage for Leeds, Connor.
Well, I think as well. Like we look at this whole thing we've been talking about murder ball and Leeds throwing it in straight away, throwing it in. And getting on with the game and making it as quick as possible. If we play Fulham down at Ellen Road and we've got Fulham on the ropes, we've got balls all around the pitch for when it goes, that was a throw-in, and we just ball it in as quick as we can. And then after 20 minutes, they have a fucking water break. They get to go and speak to Scott Parker for the best part of, 2-3 minutes, get the water on board. They're going to be completely revitalised, aren't they? And Leeds players will just be raring to go. They won't need the water break.
It's almost like 4 halves, isn't it? It's almost like got 3 half times now. I think it's a big advantage for anyone but us. You know what I mean? I just think it just breaks the game down a bit too much. They can have as you were saying, they can have a debrief and all that. It's just I'm not a big fan of it. And to be honest, guys, I'm not a big fan of the idea of 5 subs either. It's just constantly breaking the game down. I know what they're doing.
That's going to be a disadvantage to us as well, because we don't have enough quality off the bench. We've just got kids. So,
and let's be honest, Connor. Bielsa never makes them, and when he does, he makes the wrong ones for me. He'll just change left back.
Yeah,
he's changed left back over and over.
Yeah, I agree. He's been at fault when he's brought like Douglas on, hasn't he? In 70, 75 minutes, and then Douglas gets burnt on one of the sides, and then we end up conceding. That was one last year, wasn't it? He'd always bring Douglas on. 75th minute, and Douglas just couldn't get to grips with the game at that point. And I agree, mate. I think you look at Fulham, if they've got a full bench at Leeds, they're getting these water breaks. They're able to bring 5 subs on. I mean, their bench didn't look that great today, but if they have like Ayite and players like Camara back in the squad for the Leeds game, they're going to be able to bring players like that on in the 75th, 80th minute. At that point, it could be 0-0 and they could be hunting for a goal. You know what I mean?
Cabana looks so sharp today, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
Oh, I'll tell you what, it's a chance that at the back post. If that was Cavallera running onto that's 1-0 that on that cross then. Just someone a bit taller than Knockout, just on the back post there, sticking it in. But I tell you what, Dalsgaard's struggling at right back for me. I think he's getting no help from Fosu at all. When Brian goes forward.
I knew this had happened. I knew this had happened. I just had a feeling you were just going to get this Brentford side not coming out and firing on all cylinders. And we've got a long way to go, but I don't know why. I've had a feeling all week with this game. I think we'll beat Fulham, but I think they'll win this game. I do. I genuinely do. I just think that weirdly they look just a little bit quicker, don't they?
Yeah, definitely.
And that's the thing. Mitrovic only needs bloody one, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And they are firing balls into the box. And if he gets in between Pinnock and Janssen, you fancy him all day. You know what I mean? So Brentford, no chance. Save.
Cheers, Jeff. But they're not putting enough pressure on Tim Ream for me. I mean, he's absolutely crap. You've got Michael Hector, but this Tim Ream, nowhere near good enough. And teams for me don't put enough pressure on him. Oh, I mean, come on, look how much space you've got here. Brentford are like us. They try walk it in.
Yeah, disappointing that. You want better than that in that position. You got to be. He
should be crossing that there, shouldn't he?
Yeah.
Ben Rama feeds it out wide. He's got to put that back into Ben Rama.
Well, it's how much time's he got. He doesn't need to do that first time.
Are we talking about the Fosu chance?
Yeah.
On another topic, I will say I do like Brentford's kit.
Decent, isn't it?
Nice, sweet. I don't know if you've seen.
Get your head on this, Pontus. Friggin' hell.
Yeah. Did you see the further mock-up of the new supposed away kit with the gold Qatar Airways on it and stuff? It looked a little bit sweet, Hopefully, that's if everything's to be believed, then that'll look pretty sweet. To be honest, did you see that?
Yeah, I did. I don't think though, that kit that everyone was getting upset about. I don't know if you're talking about the same thing, Joe, but if that kit had Qatar Airways here, I think that'd be an absolute banging kit. Maybe like a round neck instead of a V-neck, I don't understand the rip roar about that. Like people were saying that it's the worst mistake since the badge, and I'm like, I don't think it was.
Do you know what though? If you remember last season, everyone went mad for that pink one that's behind you, and it was the best-selling kit they've ever had.
Yeah,
so it just shows you that social media means nothing, really, doesn't it?
Yeah, I didn't really get it. Like it was just a bit of hoo-ha about nothing. I think it's quite nice.
Bit better from Brentford. This starting to string a couple of passes together and get a bit more, try and force Fulham back a bit more. But again, half an hour in, it's took them a while to get going.
Yeah, I think they're missing Embuemo. You can tell it's that link up between the front three.
Yeah.
Just got another corner coming up from that. So.
Oh, what a ball! Oh, come on, man! You've got to do better than that. Ayling, you've got to do better there, Ayling.
Again, it's poor decision making, though, isn't it? You get what a pass that is, inside, and then poor. Look how much space. Is it Fosu just on the back stick there? It's poor that off Dalsgaard.
I'm going to lose my mind tomorrow. I might just have to sack off this stream. I can't handle it.
Especially if we're on wrong streams, guys, because I'm doing well here to keep my mouth shut. But if it's Leeds United, I'll be screaming the house down.
Yeah.
That's the problem, isn't it?
Oh, that's such a poor corner, that.
It's now 3-0 Swansea after 35 minutes.
Oh, dearie me.
That's Woodgate and Borough down, man. If this continues...
They've been very quiet this season, haven't they, the Borough fans? They were very loud. Loud the past couple of seasons, and now suddenly they've all gone into hibernation. I remember that Molnar streams and stuff like that saying how crap Leeds were. Very, very quiet all of a sudden.
It's interesting because both them and Hull now on 41 points, and there's Charlton on 39. So Charlton get a positive result. That's one of them getting pulled straight in. So, would you fancy obviously bottom three at the minute? You've got Barnsley, Luton, Charlton. Could you see a Middlesbrough or a Hull taking one of them spots?
Oh yeah, mate. Hull are going down without a trace. Like I couldn't believe I had a look today, and Charlton are nearly 4-1 to beat Hull at Hull, and I thought that is going to be an absolute shoo-in for a bet. They're just you look at that squad, mate. I mean, they had a dire squad anyway, and they've just been. I know they've got 2 more games left, I think, haven't they? The squad, like Lehigh and Wilkes and Madison and that, but. They're in deep trouble. And Borough, I don't really know. I still think Borough looking like they've still not got. I'm not saying they've got a quality squad, but they've got enough quality to be better than a Hull, surely.
Yeah, got loads of know-how. They got House and Clayton, quite experienced players. If you're in a bit of a battle, you want kind of like that kind of experience. Obviously, neither players anywhere near what they were for like Leeds and that or before. But yeah, I've got to agree. I think Charlton will stay up, and I think Hull will go down. I just think Luton, Barnsley, they're a bit too far behind now. I think. Yeah,
well, I still think Barnsley. Me and Joe have a laugh about this, but I still think Barnsley are going to give it a really good go. Right, yeah, they're going to win the league. I still think they're going to give it a really good go, especially with no crowd, because they sort of do. Like I read the other because obviously my best mate's a massive Barnsley fan, and they do something similar to us with the murder ball thing. So I just think they've not had the rub of the green so far, and if there's no crowd, all this sort of stuff, I don't think they're going to get out of it, but I think they're going to give. I think they could finish maybe like sort of 22nd. I think they're going to give it a really good go.
And Millwall derby have just kicked off, so that'll be interesting to see how that one goes as well. Obviously, I know, Connor, you fancy Millwall to just sneak into 6th position, so it'll be interesting to see how that one goes as well. Hopefully, Rooney and his boys will take a bit. Well, no, actually, I don't know. I hope if you could wish for both to lose, actually, I don't know what I'm talking about.
Worst case scenario this season, we drop into 3rd and Derby get into 6th again. It's a repeat of last year.
I can imagine.
And Koku goes up front.
I think I've seen a lot more Brentford after this water break, eh?
Yeah, no, definitely. Starting to get into a bit of a rhythm. I think Jensen's starting to get himself into the game, starting to... it's just one of those... It's just been really, really sloppy, hasn't it?
Tell you what, they've got some talent though, haven't they? That Rico Henry's a brilliant player.
Yeah. I think both teams have. Both lineups. You look at it and you think they're really, really good 11s, aren't they?
Just makes you sort of proud of where we are and what we've done this season. Because these two are. This could easily be a Premier League game.
It's like you've said before. I think the top of the Championship and the bottom half of the Premier League, there's not much difference, if any, at all these days, is there? You know what I mean? There's not that big of a jump.
First sighting for Watkins there, though, wasn't it?
Is that the ball in from?
I think Fosu's made the wrong choice there. I think he should have reversed past it to Rico Henry on the overlap.
Again, Tim Ream completely just stood still. Just gone right round him. He's the weak link of that back four, isn't he?
Yeah, definitely. Would anyone take Tyrone Mings if we get promoted?
Yes. I'm going to say, I don't know. He's one of those players. He's a bit like Mitrovic. If he's in your team, you love him, but any other team just can't stand him because he's a bit of a fug, isn't he? Let's be honest. Let's be honest. He's what do you boys reckon?
I would take him, of course. Yeah, I do. I do rate him. I remember saying it before on Talking Shot, and I remember Raggy, disputing it and saying he weren't all that good. I remember, but I thought he was very good in the games we played against him, and I do rate him. He's, I would take him, yeah. But like you say, he's just a bit of a dick, isn't he?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I'd take him.
Thing is, as well, if you sign Mings, you kind of got two left. Obviously, keep Cooper as well. You kind of got two left footers at centre back, which are not massively keen on. I like having a right footer and left footer.
All things Leeds. Mings would walk into the side and replace Coops. Ooh, controversial.
I won't have a bad word said about Coops, man.
Controversial.
I thought Cooper was in his best, probably his best run of form in a Leeds shirt prior to lockdown. I thought he was absolutely superb in.
Yeah, I mean, I've not been his biggest critic. I think, I mean, over the years, I don't think he's been top draw. He's been a top draw captain, but I'm not going to lie and say that I don't think he's a top draw defender. But if there's anyone who deserves Premier League football next year, come what may, it's him. And I think Cooper starts, and I think you get another right-footed centre half who can complement him in a good way. I think he deserves to be in the Premier League next year.
Yeah. Did you see the article, the little piece he did in the YEP, a little message to the fans this morning? And it was quite nice to read it, like how he's saying, look, he's a Leeds fan and how he's wanted that moment. You know, he's dreamt of that moment of lifting the trophy at Ellen Road with all his fans and gaining promotion and how that's been taken from him and he'll be gutted as well. And you could really see in the words, like, you know, you forget about that, you know, that some of these players, you know, the likes of Ayling, etc. I bet they were so looking forward to it. Look, much like we were, you know, but you forget about that. Sometimes you forget footballers and people too, if that makes sense, you know. And Liam, I guess, you know, if we do go to the Prem, and will he have a long lifespan in the Prem? I hope so. But that's one thing that he'd be able to look back on as an elder statesman to his children and show images of him at Ellen Road getting lofted by fans, you know. And that, no, it's true though, isn't it? And that moment's going to be taken from him. So it was quite sobering to read it, but yeah, like you say, he's been a fantastic captain, and I absolutely love Liam Cooper.
No,
and he's got a cracking song.
Yeah. Do you want to give us a blast?
Might do it at Brentford score.
I think Brentford are starting to play well now, though. They're starting to Fulham with that midfield, you got Kearney, Reid. It's very attack-minded, isn't it? You know, when they lose the ball, those two aren't the hardest workers. I think Brentford are starting to find that little space in between them, and I think they're starting to really get into this now, Brentford, to be honest. Certainly the last sort of 10, 15.
I think Alioski is Premier League quality, infectious.
I'll leave that one to Connor to give his views on.
It's like that meme, innit? If I speak, I'll be in trouble. Go on. Oh, he does too much, that lad, this Fosu. What's he doing? Just give it. Done well, to be fair.
What minute are you on, lads?
12.
40, 50.
Yeah.
What's
what are you on?
Three?
40 foot. Well, I'm on now. I think because I'm me and Oscar, I think, are on the same one. I've just turned 4103.
Yeah. Bloody hell, you don't look old, Connor.
I'm only 30 seconds. I'm only 30 seconds ahead.
Yeah, they're stroking the ball around now, though, aren't they, Brentford's? Fulham have looked pretty clueless, to be fair, last 10 minutes.
Yeah. When Kiko returns, he will be number one keeper, or will Meslier stay in the sticks? I need to start pronouncing Meslier right. I keep calling him Meslier. But yeah, Meslier, 100%. Kiko ain't good enough, and he's not a good representation for the club at the minute, I don't think, with everything that's going on.
Yeah, I don't think we'll see him in a Leeds shirt again.
Hope not. I was looking back at some of the goals earlier on for this season, and I swear to God, he's been at fault for at least 11 of them.
Yeah, no, it's just ridiculous. And when you look back at it, certainly after Christmas, he went on that run where it's literally every single game, there was a cock-up, wasn't there? And even if you go away from everything that's happened off the pitch, on the pitch, it just feels a liability. Just completely utter. Its decision making is just terrible for me.
You look at even just that Cardiff game at Ellen Road. he was at fault for 2 of the goals. You know, Brentford, that first goal, just absolutely, like, literally embarrassing. It was sort of echoes of Weidveld. It was like, people won't say it because he's been at Real Madrid and all this waffle, but like, Weidveld makes those mistakes that Kiko has done today. His head would be on a spike. Do you know what I mean? But Kiko seemed to always get away with it because he was Real Madrid's 15th keeper.
Yeah, I mean, he had that one game, I think, was it Sheffield Wednesday away, where he really did have a good game. He was good
that game, I was at that game, and
there's always been flaws to his game for me since he's started playing for Leeds.
But Oscar, I was saying last night, he's always been a really good shot stopper. He's very good. Remember that one with he saved on his debut, Will Volks, when it was going top?
Yeah, that's one-handed as well.
Mate, Fletcher had a strike at Hillsborough. Stephen Fletcher, it was an absolute brilliant strike, going top corner. He tipped it over. It was a superb save. But his decision making is unbelievable. It's unbelievable. And as Leeds fans, we're not charity cases. We need a good keeper because we want to get out of this division. And if Melier can go these last 9 games without making a mistake, brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
I think he's better with the ball at his feet as well, Meslier. I think he looks so much... Yeah, I remember that Arsenal game in that lot. I just think he looks so much more composed. He picks his right passes. He gets the ball into Phillips. He gets the ball into Wayland. I think he makes... I just think... Obviously, it's early days, isn't it, with Meslier? He's had 3 games where he's had absolutely, nothing to do at all. So, and hopefully he won't do, the way we defend and that lot and the way we play. But, let's just see... Let's just wait and see on Meslier. I think he looks really promising now.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, definitely. Let's look it round him. Oh.
Joe, sure.
Sorry.
Did we all see De Gea last night?
Oh. Maguire as well.
Yeah, Maguire.
Just got sidestepped.
Good.
It was one of those just got sent for a hot dog, didn't they?
Yeah, it's good. I'd love to see the Scummers get beat, but they didn't, which was annoying.
But what I love it, guys. Before the game, everyone was saying, "Oh, you can't start Pogba. You can't start Pogba. He's a liability." Pogba comes on, changes the game, and it turns to, "Oh, why didn't you start?" It's just, I don't know. It's just such a weird fan base, isn't it? It's so. Oh, tell you what, it's close, but I just love it. I just think they're absolutely so average. They've got a manager there who is a club legend, but they know they just can't get rid of for that reason, and he's clearly not good enough. And I just love it, mate. To be fair.
You couldn't have sounded more Yorkshire there if you tried, Oscar.
What?
I just love it, me.
Love it. Love it if we beat them.
I'd love it if we beat them. It's that variation. It's that variation we have on all these TV, isn't it?
I think it's crazy that he even got the job, man, isn't it? Yeah. Do you know what I mean? The fact that he was at Cardiff and that, and he'd shite there, and then I just think it's absolutely insane. He's well out of his depth. You can't tell me the lads are looking at him in that dressing room thinking, "Oh yeah, whatever, Ollie, we're well on board with what you've got to say, mate. Come on."
Yeah, sounds a bit like Neil Harris.
I think the fact that they're 3-4 points behind Frank Lampard and Chelsea. You know what I mean? Lampard was a Championship manager last season. I look at that top 4, top 5, and just think there's so many average kind of managers in like really, really like high end jobs. And that you just wonder how on earth did they get these jobs? You know what I mean? It's just boards just going with the heart over the head. Thinking he's a club legend. He's going to get us back to the top, and no, they're not. They're just absolutely shit.
I still can't believe Mourinho's in that Tottenham job. I mean, they are just. Teams they die when they get Mourinho, don't they? In this,
yeah.
Like Tottenham have just got from Poch. They used to be quite a free-flowing team, and now how many shots did they have? I didn't even know Harry Kane was playing last night.
Yeah. You've got Kane, Son, and Lamella. How can you not score goals and create chances and have shots when you can't be at it if you're not creating or scoring goals with that front three. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you think they were in a Champions League final. You know what I mean? And now what? They might not even get into the Champions League. It's mental, isn't it? Like you say, it's I think Mourinho's time as being a top-level manager's done, isn't it, you know?
Didn't Lampard do you last year, Oscar? I don't. Jamie too. He seems to have directed at you. I don't know if you had a scrap with Lampard there, Oscar.
I'm just saying what I see. You know what I mean? I'm just saying what I see. I think next season we'll really see how good Frank Lampard is. You know, he's got Timo Werner, Ziyech, Pulisic, Abraham. He's got all the options in the world there. If he can't get that team,
they reckon as well. They reckon as well. They're getting Havertz, don't they?
Yeah, you know what I mean. If he can't get that team pushing for a title, I just look at Chelsea. You know, they're another team. You know, all they did last season was moan about Sarri, and now they're below where they were in the table. You know, after he left, they're out of every single cup competition, I think, and now Lampard's supposedly this big hero apparently, but I don't know. I don't see it myself. I just think it's a massively flawed manager for me.
And just on Derby County, they've just gone 1-0 down. Big Matt Smith, 15 minutes in. Millwall now into 6th position with that. Go on, Big Matt Smith.
Oh, Big Matty. Did us a favour before the break, didn't he, when they battered Forest?
Yeah. I think since that game, you know, just looked at Millwall a different way and thought, you know what, they're actually a really good team. They're actually really well drilled. You know, it's when Rowett got the job, I was thinking, is that good an appointment? But he's just one of those managers that kind of fits what they want really well.
Yeah, definitely.
It was an interesting race for that top 6, though, isn't it? You know, so many teams in and around there. You know, Swansea have laid down a big marker today. You know, at Middlesbrough. You know, it's going to be a really.
I didn't even know like Swansea were that close, and they're 7th now, level on points.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it? Just how close it is, and you know, as a Borough fan, you must be worried looking at that now. 3-0 down at half time. Absolutely.
Joe's absolutely brutal.
Yeah, so it's daunting for them. What's it?
Nice comment, that, Oscar.
I know, yeah. I clicked the wrong one. I was like, that's the one I want to go to. Roy Keane versus De Gea boxing match. I would fear for De Gea's life in that, to be honest.
Yeah, I would.
It'd be one of those, like, he'd knock him out, and then it'd be like, Roy, you've won, and he just wouldn't stop, would he?
No.
He just wouldn't stop.
Someone's saying now Borough now 4-0.
It's half time. It's half time, so they can't be.
I think they are.
Yeah. So what do you reckon to that first half then, boys? Bit stop start. I think Brentford came into it towards the back end and looked stronger. You know, how do you see the second half panning out?
I think I fancied Brentford at the start. I think they sorted out that left-hand side, you know, in that water-cooling break. I'd not seen Brian and Cabano have the same kind of joy in that left-hand side. I just think they're getting into so many dangerous areas. I just see Brentford winning this from now. I can't see Fulham winning it, to be honest, now. I just think the shift in momentum's there. Obviously, I don't know. Yeah, I think Brentford now, to be honest.
Yeah, I'd agree. I agree with Oscar. I think it's they just seem a bit more like they've clued up a little bit, like Joe said after that break, and I just think that it's just a bit too tippy-tappy sometimes around that penalty area. I reckon they've got the players with that much quality that just having a strike. You know, we saw it at the edge of the box there with I think it was Jensen towards the end. Just have a strike at the edge of the box, you know, or in and around the 18-yard box instead of trying to walk it in the net. And I think they'd be probably about 2-0 up by now. But yeah, I think they look strong coming into the end of that first half there.
Definitely. Has anyone got any questions?
Got an interesting one there. What do you think about us playing after West Brom, like last season with Sheffield United?
I think for me, Oscar, I think I'd be more concerned if we were chasing down for first or second. To be honest, the league, if I'm honest, yes, I want to win the league, but it sort of takes a back step for me. We just need promotion. So So that's all I'm bothered about. And, let's see how this game goes between Fulham and Brentford. And that's all I'm bothered about, is just creating a bigger gap between us and third. If we can get the league, brilliant. But I just want promotion. I just want to be playing Scum at home next season as opposed to QPR or a Reading, etc.
Behind closed doors.
Oh, don't say that. Wow.
They'll be shitting themselves in the dressing room now, though, Fulham, because they know they've started the game quite well. They've gone off the boil. They have to win this game, and they just don't seem to be at it since the water cooling break. I wouldn't be surprised if they make a change possibly at half time. To try and get that momentum back and that lot. You look at Cavallero on the bench, but yeah, no, I've got to agree. The title would be really nice, but you know what? If you offered me second place right this minute, taking it all day long. You know what I mean? Taking it all day long. If we win the league, we'll win it because we've been the best team. If West Brom win it, they'll win it because they've been the best team. I think we've been pretty even all season. I think West Brom probably score more goals for us. We'd probably play slightly better football. And I think it's just two really good teams.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say slightly, mate. I think the only team that comes close to us in terms of football is probably Brentford. Do you know what I mean? And I think we've been outstanding, and it's going to be so good. Like tomorrow when we kick off, just seeing some of them transitions and how we can bomb it from fullback and within 3-4 passes be at sight of goal. You know what I mean? And I just can't wait for a bit more of Bielsa ball tomorrow. It's been far too long, hasn't it, mate?
Yeah, no, but 100%. But yeah, no, it's one of those things, isn't it? Like last season, it's just you look at like last season the way it went. But I just think we look so much tougher this season. In terms of mentality. I think I spoke to you about that Millwall game. That was a big one for me. We came back from 2 down, Ellen Road. Everyone was moaning and groaning, and then we came back into it. And I thought, after that night, you know what? This team's got something about it this season. This team, doesn't let its heads drop as much, and that's crucial, isn't it, at this level?
Louis Sibley's just equalised on 26th minute for Derby. It's one apiece now there. I've been hearing good things about that Sibley. They're saying he's better than what Will Hughes was. So interesting to see how that pans out for him.
Yeah. I'll be honest, I've not heard much about him, to be honest. But yeah, starting today. Seeing what the other results are, but yeah, it's just these 3 games at the minute. Watford 0, Leicester 0, half time. So not many goals going about. To be fair, so it's other than if you're at Middlesbrough. So that's the thing. You don't want the quality of the games to be bad, but I don't know, guys. I think some teams are going to be stronger than others, aren't they? They're going to have worked harder on fitness, and it'll be very telling.
Yeah, I think, like you say, there hasn't been many goals in much of the games. Obviously, City you'd expect, and Arsenal have the calamity of Louise, I suppose, Norwich. So maybe I'm chatting shit, but I just think, I'd be really concerned if you're conceding 3 like Borough have on the first game back. It's because from the games that I've watched, some of them have been tight, and but yeah, to go and get beat 3-0 is it's not even finished yet, is it? It could end up 6. But yeah, I mean, I say that, but then again, we'll probably do Cardiff same tomorrow. Fingers crossed there.
See if we've got any more comments coming in.
Apparently, Baron Cross said JK is not injured.
Yeah, he's not. He's not, bro. Did you not see it? Did you not see it yesterday? Bielsa actually confirmed that he's not injured and just said he's not with the squad.
Right.
But this is the thing. So that's what I was saying earlier, is the fact that it's either, I've heard little bits that maybe he's fallen out, and also that he could have possibly come in overweight, which I found mad, because we've seen pictures of just how lean he's looked. But Bielsa's standards are much greater than ours, and you know what I mean. If I could look like JK, I'd be buzzing. But it'd be interesting. Like Harry Burns has just said, he's training on his own. What that means, I'm not sure, but it doesn't make for good reading. And I think it's interesting that Bielsa could have could have just said he was injured and none of us would have batted an eyelid. But the fact he's made a point of saying he's not injured, he's just not with the squad, he's training on his own, makes me think, that's a strange one. And then they come out yesterday, they've signed the loan players and extended Varadi's contract and come out and said, we've not made a decision on JKA yet. So it makes me think that maybe Leeds are thinking, how can we engineer a way out of this deal?
Maybe, yeah, I agree with that. I think, it's a real shame, and let's hope it doesn't affect us on the run-in.
Because what is it before the 30th of June? It's 3 games, isn't it? So you can almost say if JKA isn't getting a chance tomorrow, if he's not going to be in the squad, which is possible, all of a sudden he's got 2 games there to almost save his Leeds career, if you like, and he might not even get a chance on the pitch. So no, it's not promising if you JKA though.
But I think that's why as well with Bielsa, maybe it's not worked at the top clubs that he's been at for him, because I think with his methods, every single person, every individual has got to buy into his method. And if they don't, and you're going to get this with top class players like he had at Marseille, like he's had at Bilbao. I know they all bought into it for the first part of it. Argentina. I think if you're not collective and you've got top class players in that ranks, they're just not going to do it because they'll have other clubs looking at them. Prime example being Samu Saiz. So I think you've literally got to be absolutely on point with Bielsa's methods. And if you're not, you're out the door. And then, if you're not, let's say, when he was at Marseille, for example, this didn't happen. But if Batshuayi doesn't want to fit into Bielsa's methods, he's losing a massive part of his squad there. And, that's going to affect his success rate. And I think that's why it's worked at Leeds, because every single player was bought into it. And there's no egos. I think when you get egos into sides and squads and stuff like that, that's when it starts to go sour. And that's when it's clearly not worked for Bielsa at the top level.
Well, I think I read a really good article the other day on Bielsa's time at Argentina, and he had Batistuta and Hernan Crespo available as his 2 strikers. And we all know Bielsa will only ever play 1 striker. But he told Hernan Crespo early on in the thingy that Batistuta is my first choice, and that's not going to change. And it's interesting things like that. If you're not with Bielsa, it doesn't matter what you do on the pitch. Or Hernan Crespo is banging goals in for Chelsea, Inter Milan, etc., etc. If someone like that isn't getting into Bielsa's team, you can be pretty sure that if JKA isn't working with Bielsa's methods, he's got no chance of getting into the team.
Yes, and apparently as well, the positive though on that is just reading there. Hopefully, Poveda becomes a super sub. I read the article on The Athletic from Phil Hay, and apparently everyone at Thorpe Arch is very, very impressed with Poveda. Apparently, he's looking super sharp. So
just watch out for that finish there. Sorry to jump in from that Sibley there at Derby. You'll probably get the highlights up. He's done well there.
Yeah, it's coming up now, I think.
Oh, it's a classic Matt Smith header.
Yeah, 100%. Over the top of the defender.
I've heard about this Sibley as well, Joe.
Yeah.
Great
feet in a tight area, that, isn't it?
It's a brilliant finish, that.
Class goal.
Oh, big Slavan.
Yeah, you're right though. I mean, do you see Poveda coming on then and having an impact, Connor?
I do, mate. Yeah, I think. Hopefully, we're talking about subs earlier, having 9 subs. I mean, it's perfect. You've got players on the bench there. I don't think we've got, Shackleton and Leif Davis and players like that. They're not impact players. Joe, I remember you were speaking last year about Jordan Stevens at Stoke and stuff like that, and that's not a situation what you want to be in with Leeds. So if you've got players from this is a lad who had Marseille interested, Torino putting in a formal offer, Man City offered him a new contract. So there's no doubt in his ability, and you're just hoping, praying that he looks a bit like Dan James. From what I've seen of him, he's small, slight, low centre of gravity, really quick. So, if the game's stretched at sort of 70th minute, he can be sort of that, that Eddie Nketiah where he'd come on in different positions, but that pace that just scares back lines. I think that's that's perfect. And I think he will feature. Yeah. What about you, Oscar? Do you think he will?
I agree. I'm hoping for kind of like a Jack Clark kind of impact from the first half of last season. Not the Jack Clark we see now, but a couple of games last season when he came on, looked really sharp, and just gives you that. It's just another option. You know what I mean? It can't just all be down to Helder Costa and Jack Harrison. You need other wingers to come off the bench and bring things to the game. And to be fair, I've heard about Vader. He can play a variety of different positions, so hopefully, it's a good option to have. I agree with you, Eddie Nketiah comparison. We've maybe not had that in the second half of the season. That player, you look at how many games Nketiah changed for us. I know he never started, but he came off the bench. He won us so many points, didn't he? And he just, even when he didn't score, he just stretched the game with his pace.
Definitely.
Big shout out, Mr. Jack Glennie there, who's put a comment saying it's nice to see us back. He's a good fan of the channel and friend, Jack. So big shout out, Jack.
I'm just going to throw this comment up. I think when we did the last watch along, me and Connor, the Leeds watch along, the Huddersfield one, we spoke about this player a lot, Ollie Casey. I think he came on in that game and made his debut. But what are you saying to that, Connor? Ollie Casey or Pascal Struijk?
Well, it's a tough one, isn't it? Because Struijk got absolutely torn apart when he came on in the Cardiff game. He was awful. He was completely awful. Bless him. He came on. You thought he was going to be sort of. I don't know if you boys remember when Halmer came on to deal with Matt Smith at QPR last year. It was the home game. Halmer came on and was brilliant. And I think that's what Bielsa thought when he brought Struijk on in that game. He's going to be able to deal with Glatzel, who obviously is about 6'4". He didn't. He came on. He was calamitous, and I think that was that's why Struik's really gone down the pecking order. I think, and from what I've heard about Ollie Casey, he's apparently really calm on the ball. He's a tall lad as well. I think he's looked quite good when I've seen him in bouts. So yeah, homegrown lad as well. I'd go Ollie Casey if I was to choose.
Do you agree?
Yeah, it was interesting. You spoke about Halmy there. It was only the other night that I watched him take us home again. And do you remember when he came on in that Sheffield United game where we won the game late on, Jack Clark, and he was brilliant that day, weren't he? And I remember, Jack Clark, that little dink over after the Henderson mistake and Pablo, wow. And that's when we thought, this is it, It was so tough watching that back, but it's a great watch as well, isn't it? But yeah, on Struijk and Casey, I would have to agree with Connor, and of course you like to see homegrown lads coming through, don't you? I think we've got quite a nucleus coming into this side. They're all Leeds fans, etc. It's just going to be brilliant to see, and it's lovely to see what Bielsa and the management team have done with the club, man, because everything's just going in the right direction, man. It's class.
So was there any changes there at half time? Don't think there was there?
No, I haven't seen anything now, mate. I'll just have a quick check for you, just to keep everyone up to date. But
yeah, it looks about the same. So
yeah, there's been no substitutions. We've had a yellow card in the first half for De Silva, but other than that, I think Bobby Cordova-Reid had the chance, didn't he? Hit the post. Mitrovic a couple of headers, but Brentford came in towards the second half and Watkins and stuff had a few chances, but we're only a couple of minutes in now. Hopefully, would you be happy with this staying 0-0, guys?
Yeah, I'd take it. I think it puts both teams. It makes it, certainly for Brentford, I think it makes it impossible then for making the top two. But for Fulham, it puts massive pressure on Fulham, doesn't it, for the game on next Saturday against us? But it means they have to win.
Well, they have to come at us as well, and that's going to be better for us. If they come at us, it's going to be much better for us.
100%. The space they've left in behind throughout this game. If you've got Costa, Harrison, running into that space, the pace they've got, it could cause havoc, against this Fulham team. I don't rate them off the ball, this Fulham team at all. I just think they look so naive off the ball. They've just got so many attacking players on the pitch and who just don't know how to defend. In effect,
forget about West Brom as well. West Brom playing today at home against Birmingham. I think that'll be comfortable for them. So that's once again, Leeds go into the fixture tomorrow at 12:30. obviously with this result. And then, I think that's going to be a West Brom win. So obviously Leeds are going to be in second place. So I'm just hoping that, the lads are all right with that. And I just think it made me a little bit, Jens has just pulled off some ridiculous skill there.
The ball was terrible, wasn't it? That's what I mean.
I think it's just made me think a little bit when Forshaw was coming out on the Leeds That podcast, and he turned around and he said it did affect us playing last. And I thought, well, I don't know, I get that, but in a way I don't get that. You footballers, you shouldn't be looking at other. I get that you're going to look at other results. I understand that, but that shouldn't be affecting you. Even if West Brom win the next 3 games, you focus on yourselves. You go a game at a time. And when he said that, I was a little bit like, well, that's a bit of a weak thing to say that, because, I'm thinking to myself, if Leeds are playing second, which we are in the next, 2 games, is this going to be a case of seeing other results? Let's say if West Brom do win, and I know we're talking promotion here, so it's a bit different, but, are the lads going to start getting nervous tomorrow? I don't know. What do you think about that? I just didn't really get that comment.
It's a strange comment, that, isn't it, really? I think it's... I think last season when Sheffield United was so close to us, so close to us, when we got to this kind of stage of last season, it was kind of up and down until Sheffield United took control, like the last sort of, 3 or 4 games. But I don't know. I agree with you there, mate. I just think it's not really something you want. You've got to be stronger than that for me. You've got to say, you've got to be really up for it. If someone else wins, you've got to say, right, you know what, we've got to be excited about this game. We've got to show we can match that in effect. It's almost like a chess match. And but yeah, I'd agree. That's disappointing to hear that, to be honest.
I think
good chance there. Good. Ooh.
I think he made the wrong. I think he should hit it. I know he's going for the easy pass into Mitro, but he probably should put his foot through it for me. But it's easy to see with hindsight in it. But yeah, I think on the Forshaw thing, I think the right to be confident. I think last season, I think we all got carried away a little bit. There was so much on, like that Norwich game, for example, if you remember, and we were talking about a Liverpool-esque style meeting for them. There was stuff on social media about being there with flares, waiting for Norwich to come in on that night game and all that sort of stuff. It never came off, but we got absolutely tore apart, didn't we? I think we all got a little bit carried away last season, and I did. Fucking hell, that'd be an understatement. Yeah, I think it just because it had been so long and everything, especially in the early parts over Christmas, the result at Villa, the result against Blackburn, the result against away at Sheffield United, how long we haven't won there. It just was all panning for an amazing season, and obviously we know what happened. But mate, I think they've learned from it.
Is it not the same now with regards to, like, even when we're talking? We've been speaking so much about the Premier League. There are so many Sky Sports pundits saying the same thing about Leeds getting to the Premier League, all this sort of stuff. Is the pressure not now as much because we're set to lose everything if it goes wrong next year? Is it not? Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I know Leeds maybe on the pitch have dealt with it a little bit more, like results away at Brentford and all the likes of that. But is the like loads of less pressure now?
No, I guess I suppose you're right. If anything, sorry, I'm just watching. If anything, if we were to mess it up, like you say, it'd be calamitous, wouldn't it? It'd be just surely, like you said before, Connor. Surely even we can't mess it up from here, but. I just think, because of the group being together, that little bit of experience, they realise now, I hope I'm right anyway, but I think we all think, oh, he's in! Is he off? Oh, no, he's off! He's off!
Don't know what's going on, but...
Guys. Sorry. I'll let you catch up.
Might as well just switch this off and watch Joe.
Oh, yeah, it's Miles. Are you there yet? What?
Thinking back to me now. It's about it's building up a bit here. Yeah, here we go.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think he is.
I think these two are so well matched.
Yeah, do you not think though both teams just been a bit clumsy on the ball? Like, look at that for a pass off Norgard there. I still think Brentford though.
I got Scott Parker to sell me a car if I could.
He's out of his depth at Fulham, do you think, lads?
All he keeps saying is, let's go, come on in.
Yeah, it's just a passion merchant from what I can see.
Yeah, that's what it is. Come on in.
Well, he's got that much quality, he can kind of
get
away with it.
Yeah, it's a bit like Lampard.
Yeah, well, yeah. Yeah, Lampard's kind of last season. Even like a Dean Smith at Villa, you know what I mean? He had like Grealish, Abraham, Mings. I never looked at Villa last season and thought...
Mate, Dean Smith wouldn't be in a job if it weren't for Grealish.
No, I think like he's so... As much as I don't like him, he's so...
He's classic.
For what Villa needs, he's kind of that man. But yeah, it's just a shame he's a bit of a twat though. He got popped like Phillips though at Ellen Road. I'll just add that.
Hopefully, we'll see a similar job on Tomlin. Tomorrow he's going to be.
I'm scared. I'm scared of him.
Yeah, but I forgot about this, and it wasn't until I watched Oscar's preview in the morning when that landed. The fact that Cooper was out for the first game.
Yeah, I forgot.
So hopefully he'll have an impact on it.
He's just our most aggressive defender, isn't he? That kind of game you just want a battler like Cooper there at the back. Just doing the simple things. Winning headers, putting a bit of pressure on, being nice and aggressive. And I just think Cooper's that man. I think obviously Ben White, they just complement each other so well, don't they? I think. Would you guys say that's the best centre-back pairing in the league, White and Cooper?
No.
What are you going for as being better?
Man.
I mean, Bartley Ajayi's it works pretty well, West Brom.
In terms of, are you talking about like just quality defenders or who works well together? Do you see what I mean?
Who works well together, I guess.
Oh, man.
Who gives the team that kind of like just solid defensive foundation?
Who would you say?
You've just got to look at clean sheets, right? We're up there, aren't we? You know what I mean? Who else? I think we're leading the charts. But I mean, on Ajayi, that's someone I'd have liked to have seen, man. Come on, I know we were linked with him, whether or not there was any truth to it. You know what I mean? But I'd have liked Ajayi. I really rate him, me.
I think it's a full strength squads. I think you've got to look at goals against in the league, and like Joe said, we're leading it. I think Brentford are about 3 goals behind us as well. So yeah, I mean, when you look at it, you'd probably have to say White and Cooper on the base of it. I think Janssen and Pinnock are very, very close.
Yeah, I mean, they've grown into this. Certainly Janssen, I think he's doing a much better job on Mitrovic than he was in the first sort of 15, 20 minutes. I think Mitrovic has been a lot more limited since sort of like the water break, I guess. It's I think they're winning a lot more off him now. Things getting a lot less joy.
Yeah.
Oh. Fulham really coming into it here, boys. Oh, it's wayward.
I think it'll be a tough game against Fulham. I really do. I think it's going to be a really tough game at home.
What do you think to this comment on the screen? Hutchinson and Jake Cooper at Millwall is a shout as well.
Nah.
I look at that and think they've obviously not got much quality with the ball, but I think that's a pretty decent pairing, to be fair.
So it depends. It's what you want, though, isn't it? Like to go up. You know, if you're looking at promotion, they're not promotion defenders. You know, they're not going to cut it in the Premier League. Whereas I think Cooper and White is a partnership. I think Pinnock and Janssen is a partnership. I think they'd be able to cut it in the Premier League. I don't think you saw at Ellen Road when, like, you know, Leeds started piling on the pressure. I think they are just long ball merchants, Cooper and Hutchinson. I don't think that they play it on the ground as much. I think they're just the big lads, aren't they? 6'7", 6'5". And Millwall have conceded about 42 goals this season, which is decent. But, you know, you look at ours, I mean, we've conceded 30 goals. So, you know, I personally, I think it's between us and Brentford.
I have to agree with Joe as well. I think Fulham have certainly, chances-wise, a lot more Fulham's than Fulham, isn't it? You know, I think there's a lot more. I still think they've edged this game. Yeah.
I mean, we've still got half hour left to go. It'll be interesting to see what happens after the water break. You know, that's something that is going to play quite a key factor, I think, you know, getting them in even for a couple of minutes, you know. It'll be interesting to see. I heard it mentioned before, if you look at the stadium, you know, you can see the bodies in and around the ground. It'll be interesting to see if Bielsa has his coaches dotted about like he did in that first game against Stoke, because there's nothing stopping it this time, I don't think. And it'll be interesting to see when we have them water breaks, you know. I think it could work out for the opposition as opposed to more so to Leeds. But, that's the wrong ball. But yeah, I don't know what I was talking about because I got distracted there by the football. But let's see. Yeah, the water break, wasn't it? It was on about the water break. Sorry.
It was just really funny. It was just really funny. You just get 100 miles an hour with the water break comment, and then you just distracted for about 10 seconds. What was I talking about?
Like that, shiny.
Done well there, Mitrovic. Lovely little laugh that.
I really like Joe Bryant.
Yeah, he's having a good game.
Yeah.
Best left back in the league?
Okay, I would say.
Cooks down Cafu, mate.
Cafu, yeah.
I'd say Brian, to be fair. Brian or Rico Henry. I think you've got the best two left backs on the pitch here.
I think Brian's up there with assists as well, isn't he? I think. I mean, you won't be surprised with obviously Mitrovic heading, you know what I mean? But he's been up there this season. I think, anyway. Bit like, I guess, Dallas before, not Dallas, bloody Douglas before he came and was broken at Leeds.
Yeah.
Are you nervous about the Cardiff game tomorrow? Yes, pre-drinking already.
Oh.
So,
is it me who just lost him?
Opinion on Ollie Watkins?
If I was to sign a striker, one striker when we get up to the Premier League, it'd be him.
He's giving it away there. That's a poor ball. He's a wanker. Listen, you take quite a few of them Brentford players, won't we? Let's be honest. But yeah, Ollie Watkins, I remember at the start of the season, you know, saying I'm not sure he'd be able to take on the mantle of a Maupay, etc. But he's been unreal, hasn't he, this season, leading the line. Like you say, you'd take him, definitely. Do you reckon he'll get the move to the Prem, regardless of what happens with Brentford?
It's just shit. Fucking hell.
It's a poor ball. How can you overhit it that much? Oh, that was the opening, that though.
What do you think to Swansea away as a fixture?
Toughest of the lot for me. I think it's a Swansea. There's just something about. I think last season. I don't know if you guys remember the game at Swansea last season. Probably one of our poorest.
I think we were lucky.
Yeah, we got away with it. I think obviously not got McBurney now. They've got a slightly different kind of striker in Brewster, but Brewster's a pace. You got Ayew.
Do you think that could be one we maybe miss out on that game?
But possibly again. Is it the fourth or fifth game? I think it's. I don't know, because I look at the game at Ellen Road and I thought, I know we lost that game at Ellen Road, but I thought we were the better team by a mile that day. And I think obviously Swansea had one shot.
There's loads of them fixtures early on. If you look at Forest and Swansea, etc., where we were so much better and just got caught napping Derby when Chris Martin scored, for example. But yeah, I do look at. There's a little cluster of fixtures. I think it's Blackburn, Swansea, and Stoke. And I look at them three, and there's just something where I look at them and think, I don't like that little trio of games. But yeah, I guess we'll wait and see. But hopefully by then, results go our way and we do well in these opening games. We're going to drop points.
I think so, mate. I think that's vital. I think us starting really quickly and really strongly, 2 wins out of 2. And then Fulham not picking up sort of obviously 6 points out of 6. I think that's vital because I do think naturally in the Championship, because you think about it, if we win these opening 2 games, that's going to be 7 wins on the bounce. I mean, I think it's a record, isn't it? If it's like 10 Championship records, so I think that's going to be extremely hard to do. So I think when fans are coming out and they're saying we're going to batter Blackburn, we're going to batter Swansea, we're going to embarrass Cardiff, I just don't think. The Championship just doesn't work like that. And, unfortunately, I wish it did, but it just doesn't. Every game is ridiculous. Yeah, we'll play Luton at home, and that won't be easy.
No. I think the thing with us is score. I still think scoring goals from time to time. You look at us as a team, you think...
It's a problem.
Is there a player in that team who you look at and say, obviously look at Brentford, Fulham, and that lot, and you think, there's a player there in both teams that you think he's going to score pretty much every game. We've not really got that. It's just more of a collective. But the amount of chances we miss, there's a chance that I don't see us battering teams too much. I see us winning games, but I don't think we're clinical enough to batter teams. I don't think we'll see that many kind of whole kind of games. We're just really, really clinical.
It's been interesting, Mitrovic. I mean, I know we all sing his praises, but he had about 4 or 5 headers in this game. Just maybe missing that match sharpness, because the one just before that you're seeing, I think that's a chance that, So he's maybe missing that match sharpness, I think. And that's why maybe, with the murder balls, etc., we might be better suited. I guess we'll all see what happens tomorrow. But I think the clear thing is the goals at our team get shared out, don't they, I'm just hopeful we can carry in that form, because prior to the lockdown, we were in scintillating form, man. I was going into games genuinely not even worried, if that makes sense. Like, I was thinking, we've got this, man. It always helped because we kept scoring early as well, didn't we? You had the Huddersfield game, the whole game, and we were early, and it just puts you at ease, because I think with Leeds United, once we get in front, if we can do it early as well, I can breathe a little easier. Do you know what I mean?
I still think it's going to be a really tough task tomorrow. I think a lot of Leeds fans keep coming out and saying we're going to embarrass them and all this sort. It's not. I don't think we're going to embarrass them. I think it's going to be a really tough game.
The only way we embarrass them is if we score early, for me. A bit like that whole game, because it just completely opens the game up there and leaves all that space for us to just absolutely do them on the counter-attack. But I can't see that, to be honest. I think we'll win the game.
You don't think we'll win?
Yeah, tomorrow. Yeah, I think we're strong enough at the back to cope with Glatzel and Tomlin, but it's not going to be easy, I don't think.
Yeah. I mean, Sean McGonagall's put a good point there. Leeds never win down in London, so we're going to struggle tomorrow, I think.
In London?
Someone needs a few geography lessons.
Connor does geography. You all these TV series.
Yeah. Cardiff is not in London. Joe goes into every game thinking we've got this, even the Ipswich game last year. That was such a diabolical game, that.
I went to that game and it was one of those games where you're playing a really, 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 really shit team, but it's just one of those games where I don't think either team could be arsed at all.
Did Colin Quaver chips? Didn't he score twice as well?
Christ. He looked like R9 Ronaldo in his prime in that game. It was like, honestly, that's probably the worst game under Bielsa, I think, that one. That was just so dull, that game.
That's an interesting point. Who's the referee tomorrow?
I'm not sure, mate. I'm not sure. I'm not that diligent. Do a bit of homework. But yes, you are right, Ed. I do think we have something to play for in every single game because we are that good of a football team. Am I wrong to think that? Do you think? I don't think so. We could be playing City and I'd still think we were going to be in the game. You know what I mean? Under Bielsa anyway, because he has a plan for everything, man. He has a plan for everything. So yeah.
What were you like under Hockaday, Joe, and like Milanovic? What were you like?
I'll tell you something funny, right? So other day, it must have been the Hockaday Eve, and I seen Square Ball had tweeted out say, "Oh, we've come a long way," and it was the comment where Hockaday had said, "We'll get Champions League," and Phil Hay tweeted and said, "I've just read the comments just to see if anyone was on board, just to see, but it turns out no one was." I got paranoid and thought, I can imagine I've left a comment in there somewhere. I started scrolling because I was thinking it wouldn't surprise me if I've gone, "What an appointment!"
Believe in the Hawk.
I just remember his first game going to Mill. I was at that Millwall game, his first game, and seeing the team sheet. Scott Wilson and Jason Pearce was our centre-back pairing. I can remember it now. Dukara, Noel Hunt, and what's the other guy's name? What was the other guy's name? Nicky Ajose all played in that game. I've never seen anything quite like it. It was an absolute mess from start to finish, that game.
Do you remember we went to Italy, didn't we, in pre-season and played some pub team and won about 11-0. Do you remember?
Oh, God.
Oh, chance. But yeah, and just like clips of him in water, like climbing out. I remember, man, just bad time.
Bad time. I'd love it. I'd love it if we found a comment of you on that Hockaday. That'd be brilliant.
Well, I had to look ahead, but that shows you, doesn't it? Like the constant optimism that I thought, shit, I might be in the comments here.
Just commenting back to everyone saying believe.
Yeah.
Believe in the Hawk.
Hashtag believe.
I hate Scott Wotton with a passion.
Do you remember when he scored on his debut? I remember he scored on his debut. We got him from school, and I was like, "Oh yeah, what a player!"
We've got him.
Exactly. He scored on his debut. I think it were in the cup. I'm not sure. He came on and scored a header, I think. Jason Pearce, the likes. I remember Pelty. I still can't believe he played in the Premier League, man. He's going to be playing tomorrow. That's an interesting one, actually. I want to ask you on this. I was going to ask it earlier, but it left me mind. But every pre-season, players come out and they seem to get better under Bielsa. We basically had, longer than a pre-season between, the last game and restart. Do you think we might see a new, improved Helder Costa?
100%. That's the thing I'm really, really confident on. Two big reasons. Before lockdown, I thought he was really getting into it. I mean, that whole game when he's shooting that little flip flap skill and he just almost scored. It was that's Helder Costa at his absolute maximum that for me. And I think you get that second pre-season. You look at how much Jack Harrison's improved. All the whole squad, Stuart Dallas, etc., etc. I think Costa, he's hit 3 goals, 2 assists, I think it was, something like that. I think he can double that tally in the next 9 games. I'm going to stick my neck on the line and say that.
Wow, Oscar. Jesus. You'd hope so, mate. I think I agree with a lot of people that his final third at the moment isn't good enough. I still think he's our most talented player, which says a lot. I just think his ability is just. I think Helder Costa at the top of his game is better than probably. Well, I think he's better than every Championship winger in the division. I think he's just so good at the top of his level, but we've not been able to cultivate that yet. We've not been able to get that player out yet, and I think if we do, Jesus Christ, he was unbelievable in that season when Wolves went up. So, yeah, we've still not seen the best of him yet for me.
Can you hear me, guys? I think I'm out.
Yeah.
Are you there? Sorry.
So the West Brom team's out, and it's looking frightening. I think they've got a front four of Pereira, Robinson, and Dean Garner, and then Robson Garner up front. Oh no, sorry, not Dean Garner. It's Phillips. Come on.
Overhitting it again.
What is going on?
I'll tell you what, Brentford in the final third have been absolutely terrible today. They've had so many opportunities. Just put a decent ball in the box, get a decent shot off, and if they don't win this game, if they lose this game, they've only got themselves to blame for that. They've had so many chances to.
Why don't you go down? Why don't you just dive? He'd have dived. He'd have dived against Leeds.
Yeah.
I think the interesting thing is, and I said this, I picked it up on the Villa Sheffield United game, is the amount of play acting that's just halved, if any at all, because there is no fans there. They seem to be getting up and getting on with it, and it's quite refreshing to see, if I'm being honest.
You get better referee decisions for that reason. You not got the crowd influencing the referee or putting them under pressure. I think it's hopefully for Leeds. Look at the fucking decisions we've had against us. Hopefully, it kind of works in our favour a little bit, that.
Although I don't know, the referee seen that. Did you watch the Scum game yesterday? The penalty shout where they had to go to VAR on Fernandes. I don't know how he gave that, man. It was an absolute joke.
Yeah, I thought it was bullshit as well. He's a brilliant player, him though, isn't he? What a player!
Yeah.
Not nice to see. Reminds me of Matthias Bogus a bit.
He's not that good.
See, you forget about these sort of players, man. What happened to Bogus? I thought after the Scum game abroad.
Dalsgaard, what's that?
I thought we'd see a lot more of Bogus this season, but he's just not featured at all, has he, in the league?
What are you thinking then? 15 minutes to go.
0-0, I think.
I just think both teams just don't. I think Fulham have obviously had the better chances, but I don't know, neither team seems to be stringing it together in the final third.
I mean, let's look at it in a positive way, though. Which is me all over. If this stays 0-0 and we win tomorrow, that's 9 points.
Yeah, true. I think a lot less pressure on us, isn't there? If this stays as it is.
Yeah. Oh, Watkins.
Brentford are knocking it about a little bit. Like you said, they've all had little patches in the game. I think, like you were saying, Oscar, Fulham have had the clear cut, the better of chances, just Mitrovic on his head a few times. Normally you'd expect him to score. Brentford are coming into it here now, though. I'll try not to spoil it.
Overlap Dalsgaard.
Dalsgaard's had a shocker, hasn't he?
I don't know what he's doing. Dalsgaard. How many opportunities has he had to put the ball in?
B-Tech Luke Ayling.
100%.
On to Janssen, last-minute winner. Need to get this lad in the game a bit more. Don't shoot again, you dick.
That's better.
Ooh.
Decent ball. Bit of quality.
Oh, have we just seen Tim Ream gone down with a little bit of cramp? The first signs of fatigue.
Yeah, 100%. Joe Bryan got a little bit done there though. Quite rare you see that.
I think he's got to get that on target for me. If he skips past Brian there, and he's got a yard on him, he's got to hit the target. Oh, it's Harrison Reed, isn't it?
He's done the hard work getting around the player. He's just got a bit more quality, keep your shot down. And yeah, I'm surprised, to be honest, how certainly Brentford, in the final third, they've looked a little bit almost clueless at times. And you don't expect that from Brentford. You think that's going to be their strength, Watkins, Benrahma, but I don't know, they just look so. They're just not. I can't think of anything Brentford are really creative in this game.
No, I can't. It's all a bit tippy tappy, isn't it? I still think Fulham look more dangerous. I'll be honest.
Yeah, I mean they've got Caballero on the pitch now, and he can produce a moment.
What Cardiff player do you fear the most? I'm going to go first. Lee Peltier.
Yeah, Lee Peltier. Do you know what was that?
I know you're going to say Flint.
Yeah, Hayden Flint. Yeah, he's substitution coming up anyway for Fulham. Have we seen any? It's quite surprising that we haven't. I don't think. Have we actually seen any subs? I think this might be the first one.
Yeah, Cavallero's the only one. But I mean, look at that last 10 minutes. Most of the balls being kind of in that kind of Brentford's final third and that lot. It's.
He's not happy, is he, Frank?
Nah, it's a missed opportunity if they don't win this.
Someone's asking Jack and Tash where they're at. They're currently moving home, got a lot going on, but should be with us tomorrow for the live All Leeds TV Watchalong. So hopefully you'll come and join us as well. I think we've had over 200 people watching today, which is absolutely huge. To say we haven't done one for a while, so thank you, everyone. We've only got 49 likes, though, so smash some likes on there if you can, lads and lasses, of course. But yeah, it's class to be back, and we'll see you tomorrow as well. Which is anyone, boys? What's your morning ritual? Have you got anything planned, or will you be able to even sleep tonight? Do you think?
To be honest, I don't know really. Sunday game, I'll probably just watch the other football highlights and that lot. Remember how fucking brilliant we are compared to the rest of the league.
Yeah, I think I'll probably get up, have a breakfast, and then do some yoga, chill out, try to get the anxiety levels down, and then watch us against. I am shitting myself. I'm shitting myself. And the worst thing is because I know the whole league's watching us now. And because we're the final game, I know everyone's going to be watching us, and we're too good for these shit houses. So I just hope we actually show off what we're about instead of just putting in a performance, which I'll be honest with you, I think these two they've not impressed me at all. I've not seen many games so far in football where teams coming back from the break have impressed me. Southampton, I guess, but Norwich were a free pass yesterday. So I've not really. So hopefully we can be that first team. But there is a lot of rustiness, and I think people need to remember that. They've not played football in bloody 12 weeks. So I don't know.
I mean, did you guys watch?
Can I also say I don't think it's going to be the same as coming back from pre-season, because teams are fighting for the spot. And I think when they come back into August, they're not they won't be as amped up. And now they've got to be amped up because the teams are fighting relegation and for the playoffs. So I think it's going to be a little bit. I think the quality is going to be a little bit different in terms of the longevity of it.
Yeah, and definitely from a tactical standpoint as well. I think, Connor, a lot of managers are not going to be start of a 46-game season. Even maybe be a little bit cautious, but there's teams in the division that can't afford to be because they've got 9 games to try and get some. So I agree with you on that point. We're in uncharted waters, aren't we? So it'd be interesting to see. But like you all, I'll struggle to sleep. I always do. Especially when it's been a long layoff and you think of what's riding on the game. But I just can't wait for it to be back, man. Yeah, buzzing is the word. Buzzing.
Just look at the other scores. Nothing's really changed. Swansea still 3 up, and Millwall, Derby just going into the second half now, still 1-1. So pretty much the same kind of thing going on there. It's yeah.
Be interesting to see as well, boys. Did you send your videos into Quest?
I certainly did, and you've seen him, Joe. You've seen how.
Oh, I did, yeah. Connor, did you get around to doing it?
I didn't, mate. I've let the team down. I apologise.
Oh man, so I'll be watching Quest to see if we've made the cut for the intro tonight.
Our acting debuts.
It was so cringe on it, Austin. You had to do it normal and passionate, so you were like marching on together, and then you went marching on together. It was so good.
I've always said you two are cringy bastards.
Oh.
That'd be good, to be fair. Getting on Quest.
Yeah, it would be like. Jack, the T-shirt was a present from the missus, so I don't know. I think she got it from the club shop, fella. Father's Day tomorrow as well, boys. So I might have got something else. You should have that luxury.
Joe's like he's like Ty from Arsenal Fan TV for Leeds. Joe is. Joe's keeping the club shop afloat.
He's not got the water bottle though.
I love it if you
at an age now, boys.
I love it if you have the headphones tomorrow with the water bottle.
I'm at an age.
The tracking as well.
Do you remember that video when they thought he was a player? It's the best thing ever, man. It is beautiful, man. But I'm at an age now where, like, I just don't care anymore. Like, I honestly, before I'd be asked, but now I just wear whatever, man. You know what I mean? I'm like rocking white socks and that now with black trainers and stuff. I'm just like, yeah. I mean, I've even started growing my own veg, man. This is a pepper. Can't see it, but yeah, I've started growing my own veg. I've got bloody beetroot and all sorts, man. I'm getting I'm getting old now, man.
Alan Titchmarsh.
Yeah.
Oh, what ball? Oh.
I've been disappointed with this game. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah.
I thought at the very least we'd get goals.
Mitrovic looks like he's eating Mitrovic.
Stephen Mayer said he's watched the video of Connor and the lady he was with when we beat Millwall 3-2. That's Tash. just a random lady. But yeah, man, that is class. That what's happened to that, man? I'm a little bit gutted that they haven't done that documentary. I can't see it seeing the light of day even now, to be fair.
No, it's a shame, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Couldn't have picked more of a worse game to get us on, really, could they? I'd like to sort of a nice sort of 2-0 leads, but you know, no, it wasn't like that.
Just polite clapping after we score, not.
Yeah, that'd have been great. That'd have been great. Yeah.
I remember before the game as well. Do you remember? I think we were outside and I was like, Connor, look after yourself in the South Stand, mate. And then the next video was like,
He's wants to get out and fight in the Millwall fans, Connor.
Well, I actually asked them. I asked if any of the other goals were, filmed or anything like that, and they didn't send any through. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what goal that was for. Actually, that might have actually been 2-2. So I mean, 3-2. I can't imagine what that looked like.
Yeah. Goal.
Shush. It's up
there.
Well, we all know Fulham have scored now.
Fuck's sake.
There we go. It's coming up.
anticipation.
Oh, good ball, Matt. Good ball. Good ball.
There he is. The little man again.
For anyone that can't see, Side Benrahma has just scored on the 89th minute for Brentford, putting them 1-0 up.
Come on.
Fulham, crestfallen. Oh, yes.
One chance, one goal, though. One proper chance, one goal. It's what you get. When you got quality up top, that's what you get.
Yeah. 11th goal this season for Benrahma, possibly on his way to the Prem.
That takes Brentford just a point behind Fulham now.
It's a great goal, though.
Brilliant goal.
Yeah.
Is it Marcondes who puts it in?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good ball, that. Yeah, I don't know what the guy in the back stick's doing. Is it Odoi?
Yeah.
Yeah, he needs to be stronger there.
Win tomorrow, guys. That's 10 points. That's huge, isn't it? 10 points, and then we play Fulham. You know what I mean? This is what I said. I said these next two are huge, and if this stays as it is, and we get a positive result tomorrow, that Fulham game, we could bury them there and then. Do you know what I mean? So it's huge. It's huge, man.
Does this put Brentford in it?
Well, we said, didn't we? I mean, what's that? I mean, they'd be 8 points, right? 8 now. We win tomorrow. It's 11. So
yeah. Well, they're obviously our next game's Fulham. Their next game is West Brom at home.
See, so man, the fixture gods have been so kind to Leeds United. I looked at that Christmas period and I was fuming when I first seen it. There's another chance here for Brentford, guys.
It's a big statement. It's a big statement, though, isn't it? This off Brentford. We're saying about Brentford in the race, but it's a big confidence boost, isn't it? Getting a win like this first game back.
Oh, fuck it! It's all right because Jasper's just come on for Fulham. That's where I'm at. Jasper Carrot. Go on then. Switch your route. You've got to score. This is sure.
Here we go.
Go on. Oh my God! Brilliant.
Marcondes on the 91st minute makes it 2-0 to Brentford. That's Fulham. Crestfallen, man. Crestfallen. They've got to pick themselves up for that. If you remember Tom Kearney giving it the big one, saying, we can't afford any slip-ups. Well, there you have it. Absolute
look at Parker. Look at Parker. He needs to sell.
Yeah, I know, right?
He needs to sell another car.
Huge result for Leeds United. This.
That BMW's failed its MOT. I think I said at the start. I think on the counter, Brentford is so that look at that for a pass that as well. If
you think just think how dangerous Leeds are on the counter, and if it's a similar sort of scenario against Fulham, you've got to fancy us. This is a huge result for Leeds United. Absolutely huge. I think Fulham after this now.
I mean, look at Tim Ream there on the goal. Look how easily turned. That's so easy, that goal. It's two passes into Marcondes. That's what I think Fulham just look so naive, and I don't know. I think you're looking at Parker and saying, what exactly is he trying to do with this team? And it's all good for us.
Tell you what he's trying to do. He's trying to sell you a convertible. We've got to do our bit. We've got to do our bit.
Yeah, it's just ramped up a notch, hasn't it? You know what I mean? Like, come on, to think with 8 games left to go and Fulham next up and have a 10-point gap, possibly making it 13, guys. Come on, man. We've got every reason to be as confident as the a lot of us are. This is a huge result,
mate. I think we're all still a little bit apprehensive because we've not seen Leeds back yet. Like, if we, and I'm not saying this is going to happen, but if we're 2-0 down tomorrow at half time, I'm going to look at it and think, well, what's going on here? But if Leeds have, if we've scored within 10 minutes tomorrow, we're cruising, and then on 65, no joking. And then if we're cruising, score early goals, then I think I need to see us. I need to see us play, and then I'll be a little bit more. Everything will be all right in here.
Yeah. No, I understand that as well. I do. I guess I'm a little bit blinkered. I just think about every time we've restarted under Bielsa, we've just been flying out of the blocks, and hopefully we can do the same. But like you say, Cardiff are 10.
It's not, mate. I think that's literally. I'd put that to give us hardest games of the season. You're going down to Wales. It's that and the other. I think it's a massive game that tomorrow. It's one of the toughest games in the division, definitely. Yeah. I see going away to Cardiff like going away to Millwall.
Yeah, of course. Especially, with Neil Harris, we know he's going to set up. They're still in with it. I wouldn't be as worried if Cardiff were in with a shout, but the fact they're 10th, they're only 2 points off the playoffs, they're going to be well up for it. If they're not, they only have themselves to blame. So you're right, mate. It is going to be a big test, but hopefully, we've seen 60 minutes at Ellen Road. When we're on it, we should blow them away. I'm not saying that will happen, but if we're on it, then, we're better than most in this division. So we just have to be on it, man. We have to be on it. And this now should give them an even bigger incentive, man, to go out and pick up 3 points.
Fulham look broken there to me. They look like, since that first goal went in, I think they just look completely, heads have completely dropped. I don't know what you guys think.
No, I'm going to ease off on that comment, because I remember saying that when Sheffield United lost to Bristol City.
Quite an impact on the game by Marcondes. Obviously comes on. I think he's been on like 20 minutes, mate. Scores and gets an assist, man. So that's big, isn't it?
All bees, aren't we? Yeah, the fact Emiliano is getting man of the match and he's played 20 minutes kind of sums up the quality of this game, doesn't it?
Definitely.
That's huge, though. Huge result. Huge result.
Yeah.
Do you think a draw would have put both teams out of the race? I don't know what I want with it. I don't know. Hindsight, is that, would we have, I don't know.
I think tomorrow though, Connor, if we win the game and you look at it and we're 10 points, it's much better. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And I think that's what we have to factor in. If they both pick up a point, I just think 10 points, if we can win tomorrow, is absolutely huge, man. Double figures of points, 3 games cushion. That's huge, A goal difference as well, as you've touched on before.
Do you know what it is? Tomorrow. It's because we're Leeds fans, isn't it? Any other fan would just be like, that's unbelievable. Get in there. But yeah.
I mean, yeah. I think Thunderbolt Lorimer says Leeds needed this type of game. The players know this game is for real against Cardiff. Gets us straight back into it. And like the Leeds fans keep saying, all bees aren't we for this game. And what a result for Leeds United. Absolutely buzzing.
And imagine if Birmingham get a little result today as well.
Oh no.
Yeah, even better. Yeah. Yeah.
It's not beyond the realms of possibility though, with Hogan up front.
Yeah. 100%.
So I put it out on Twitter, and then someone just said, "Why, if we win, Fulham will be 10 points behind, and Brentford still." All right, so it's because someone's just think I'd have preferred a draw. A draw, I think, would have put both teams out of the race. Still a lot better than a Fulham win, and I'm only marginal on preferring the draw. I guess I need to be more positive. But yeah, I think I agree with Joe. I think we'll win tomorrow, and fucking hell, 10 points, and we've still got Luton, Barnsley, Charlton to all play at home, and I'm happy we've got Fulham. I'm happy we've got Fulham at home because I don't want anybody.
Absolutely bin them off, can't you?
Yeah, I don't want anybody else to do it. Because I don't think you look at Fulham's fixtures. They've still got West Brom to play. They've still got Forest to play away. They've still got Cardiff to play. They've still got Wigan to play away. I agree with you, Joe. I think the only reason I'm still thinking is me being me. I'm still looking at Brentford, but Brentford can win. I mean, the points gap will be ridiculous if Leeds even still win 4 games out of 9.
Yeah. This is what I'm saying. I think, I think Phil here, and I mentioned it on mine, I think we've got 9 games. 15 points is what average that Bielsa gets over 9 games in all these jobs that he's had. That's only five wins. That takes us to 86. Fulham can only afford to lose 1 game. They've already done it. Do you know what I mean? Like you say, they've got the likes of Forest, etc., still to play. And like you've touched on it with Brentford, are Brentford away next week at West Brom, or are they at home?
They're at home.
Well, that's another huge game, though, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? And there's no saying that West Brom could nick something there, a point, and where we beat Fulham, man. Wow, that's another huge weekend of football, isn't it?
Well, I think we win tomorrow. If we win tomorrow, we beat Fulham. I think we need 3 more wins after that, and then we've done it.
Yeah.
But that's a great boys. I'm gonna have to leave now. Are you boys staying on for the West Brom Birmingham game? There are a few people asking.
Yeah, no, I can't.
I'm the same, guys.
Yeah, I was gonna, but like I said, I've got the band, so I've got to share, some Joe love. You can't have it all.
All right, boys. Well, thank you for everyone watching. Make sure you like the video, and we will see you at the same time tomorrow morning for Leeds United.
Yes. Check out Leeds TV Instagram. Maybe we'll do something on the morning, a bit of an Instagram live ahead of it. But yeah, guys, it's been a pleasure, and I'm going to leave the stream there. Oscar, I will let you end it up, mate. See you later, my friend.
Thanks very much for watching, guys. I hope you've enjoyed it. We'll be back again tomorrow for Cardiff Leeds. Make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to us if you haven't done already. There's going to be plenty of content for the next 9 games, for the next 6 weeks of just football. Guys, I hope you've enjoyed it anyway. The Bees have done us a favour, but they've also brought themselves back into the promotion race. We'll see how it develops. This is the maddest league in the world. We're going to leave it there, guys. See you later, and let's see you tomorrow as well. See you later, guys.